The show is really just about the path of growth. And it's really about the idea that that path is not always a straight line.
It's a way of zooming out and looking at growth in a non-linear way and letting the simplicity of that concept be the best vehicle to showcase the performers.
My name is John Mapes, and I'm the program coordinator and designer here at Pulse Percussion.
My name is Ian Grom. I'm the front ensemble composer and arranger here at Pulse Percussion.
Our show this year is called Grow.
I think one of the biggest challenges of any show is the blank page to start.
Every show we kind of do a little differently, and this year we had the concept before the music.
The arc of the show starts with the concept of just being grounded. You can think of it like at birth we're kind of stuck down. We don't have the strength to get up. You can think of it like a lot of different things, and I think the best part is by not defining it, we allow people to just observe the show. You feel the weight of the gravity of everything. We're exploring how much we can do in a grounded state.
First movement is a song called Grow, based off that song by a trio named Muna.
I want to grow up. I'm tired of the party.
This Grow song by Muna was really neat because it just kind of set the vibe. It felt like the beginning of something. It felt like this is kind of the show. Like we have a lot to do on our end to kind of make the music work, but just that opening melody kind of spells it out.
For me, as soon as I heard the music, I immediately went, I love the vocal, I'm not gonna use any of that piano part whatsoever. I just let the vocal loop over and over and over, and I just started playing new chords and new ideas, and I came up with this little toy piano motif, and then I started substituting new chords, and I tried to reimagine this same ascending melody happening 100 different iterations until kind of the magical iteration stuck. But I wanted this to be an organic process, so that was probably one of the most fun parts.
Everything is about where can this go from here, right? And we purposely stayed low. Like I talked about grounded, but that's like one of the main goals is how low can we be for how long? It's a lot more of a musical chart too. There's like a lot more nuance in movement one on purpose because we're kind of dipping our toe into like the growth journey, right? So, and then all that changes pretty dramatically at movement two.
I think the most challenging thing was, John says, just hear me out. And he sends me the link and I click on Pussycat Dolls When I Grow Up. And I'm like, is this the right link?
That was a hard sell, man.
When I grow up, I want to be famous, I want to be a star, I want to be in movies. When I grow up, I want to see the world.
So for the second movement, we knew we wanted something very different than the first movement. We wanted something fun, kind of exciting, kind of adolescence, kind of showing that part of the journey of growth.
The weirdness in my brain immediately was like, what if we hired Dirty Loops to arrange this Pussycat Dolls tune, but it still sounded like Pulse, but then you also just inserted like a bunch of insane rhythm section stuff. And I was just instantly on board suddenly.
And once we arranged it, then you would play it and people would be like, oh, that's pretty cool.
This idea that you can kind of have this youthful exuberance and risk-taking, and eventually we all get to a point where we have taken a few too many risks and you reach a little too far, you reach a little too high.
Kind of keep going and it gets crazier and crazier before like it falls apart. So in movement 3, the idea originally was based a little bit more off of the short poem we came up with, opposed to the other charts that are based off the music. And the idea we came up with that really kind of is the story of the entire show is the idea of rise too fast, too soon, too tall, you're bound to fall. And I think it's something that a lot of people can relate with.
In all of our lives, we don't just keep growing. At some point you mess up bad, or you overreach for what you thought you had because you're just ignorant. And the growth that then comes out of that, that's the real stuff. The same melody repeats on a cycle. If you hear these opening piano notes, if you really listen through the entire closer all the way through the end, that same cycle of notes just keeps repeating over and over. It's like these events in our life that happen, but there's something about as you grow up, you're still yourself. You know, you still have the same eyes that you were born with. There's still these things that stay the same about you no matter how much you grow and how much you change. And I just thought it'd be interesting if I could somehow still do that. You know, there's no points for that, but it's something that made the composition more engaging for me, and it kind of helped, I think, subconsciously feel more tethered to something. So you weren't just like free exploring and throwing licks out, but there was something grounding us, which I always think is cool.
After that, it's just sort of like a slow add-on. Everybody, the whole front ensemble does it, the battery does it, and then we finally get to this main moment, like the mashup. And the mashup is taking the ideas from movements 1, 2, and 3, and putting them all together, because the idea is kind of like we are the experiences we have. And that is basically like what gets us to where we want to be.
I think if there's one thing you take away from the show, I want you to engage with the performers. This group of members, it's so special, and follow their journey, because it's just incredible to see the outpouring of energy that every person puts into the show, and every ensemble has this. But it's fun to watch the journey as they go through it all to the end, and when people see the ending, I hope that it will be a fulfilling journey by the time they get to it.